Anyway, here's Nigel Farage, challenged over his claim that Muslims are against British values.
That is prescribed in this country. So we've been, and what's interesting is that this Prime Minister is building up far more of that population than anybody before in history.
Well, this is very interesting, and we don't have that survey in front of us, but let's just unpick what you've just said. Are you sure you want to make the blanket accusation that you've just made that Muslims...
Isn't our friendliness to Vietnam an example of how America can be rehabilitated despite our sometimes horrifying past? Isn't our friendliness to the indigenous population an example of how America can be rehabilitated despite our sometimes horrifying past?
are somehow less patriotic than other British people, because those people on those demonstrations are British.
Did you watch the recent elections that took place up and down the country?
We don't know that, and we don't know they support Hamas. Would you like to revisit what you said at all?
Let's be clear. There is a growing population of people in this country, a lot of them very young, who have recently been voting for and electing candidates, right, up and down the country, in inner cities, who stand for a set of values that are completely, not only don't subscribe to our values, but in many cases are totally against.
Yes, these British Muslims are not in favour of permanent genocide of the Muslim population, whether it be in Palestine, which I don't believe exists, or anywhere else for that matter, and it's positively un-British. Do you know what this country was built on? Permanent genocide of the third world, that is, exploitation of natural resources, even slavery and colonial occupation. Learn the culture and assimilate.
Our values. And the marches, there were some on those marches. Equally, there were lots of upper middle class girls called Jocasta on those marches as well, and I understand that. But we have to face the fact, and at some point, by 2029, the Labour Party will have to face the fact that they started a policy of irresponsible, open-door immigration, but nobody in history has allowed more people in who are potentially going to fight against British values than Mr. Sunak. And if you look at those figures last week, if you look at the sheer numbers that were coming in last week, you really have to ask yourself some questions.
Well,
the question is, why won't we deport the Muslim British population to Rwanda alongside the many migrants coming in on those little dinky boats? Mocking accents isn't great, not gonna lie. Oh my God, bro. If we can't mock British accents, what can we do? If we can't universally... You did it to Scots earlier too? Yeah, exactly. I did. I'm going to repeat one more time. If we can't mock British accents, what can we do? You must be new here. You want to insult us? I don't understand the aim. First of all, you must be new here, chatter. First and foremost, I mock accents on a regular basis. But if this offends your sensibilities, you must be a Tory yourself. This is a high-class British accent. After all, the accent of the nonce, the Tory, or in Nigel's case, the Brexit Party. So if you're having a problem with the paedophile accent that I'm using here, then I don't know. I call into question your Labour bona fides, unless you're the type of Keir Starmer Labour Party. I'm a student too, mixed immigrant. Okay, well, there you go. Nigel Farage was wrong. Chatters, here it is. Nigel Farage was wrong. You can be a student of mixed immigrant background and still be a dumb fuck who is completely assimilated to British culture. How dare you? How dare you mock? How dare you mock the British accent? He's about to say mixed means German and Irish. I was just commenting on the accent thing, not a UKIP person. You cannot be British and be fucking offended if people do it. If you want people not to do it, go back in time, kill the first English bourgeois and the king before they colonize and destroy half the fucking planet, and then maybe we stop. Yeah. I said mixed. Oh, mate. I'm offended when anyone makes fun of accents. That's all. Okay, well, you're a pussy. Then don't talk like that. Have you thought about not sounding like that then?
Is this the thrust of the reform campaign, that actually immigration means that our values are threatened, and particularly we are unhappy about Muslims? Because that is a pretty incendiary proposition.
We have never before.
Imagine me making fun of Nigel Farage and a dude, Nigel Farage, while he's in the process of saying immigrants can't assimilate the British culture of genocide. And the chatter's like, I'm more offended by the fact that you're making fun of his accent. You made fun of the Scottish accent earlier. It's unimaginable. How dare you? It's like, bro, sort your fucking priorities and get back to me, okay? We have a very solid foundation for making fun of accents, okay? You can make fun of any and all accents as long as you're good at it, especially when we're talking about formerly colonized or currently occupied populations, okay? If you can't do it well, then you can't do it. Then it's racist. As far as the British goes, though, 13 colonies, even though they blew that lead, doesn't really matter. It's no holes barred all day, every day. If you had to be good, then why do you do the South African accent? I can't. I can't do the South African accent. And if I was good if I was better at like doing an Indian accent, I would do it. I'm not very good. Just say Africa.
Seen anything like this. You think about West Indian immigration into Britain, the post-World War II.
I think of very little else.
West Indian immigration into Britain post-World War II. You know, there were a lot of shared things there. Shared history, shared culture, shared religion in many cases. Most families that came could say one of their family had served with British forces in World War I, World War II, love of cricket. You know, the list goes on, but there were commonalities. And, you know, as you know with your previous job, the key to immigration is integration. If you get integration, it works. What we've done is...
It's a golden copper train. How would you beat this argument? What argument? There's no argument. He's just being pure racist. Do you think I have an issue with migration? What the fuck? You know how I beat this argument? By saying, have you eaten British food before? You, sir, have you seen what English cuisine would look like without these migrants that you're sitting here and criticizing for simply existing? Would you dare cause this fine nation to suffer by eating a diet of jellied fucking eels, beans and fucking toast? Ugh, okay, I don't want to do more of this. This is like killing my soul. Yeah, eventually everyone will say they were against the Gaza genocide, even the enablers, the justifiers, the fence sitters, and the perpetrators themselves. Yeah, look at this. Piers Morgan. The scenes from Rafah overnight are horrific. I've defended Israel's right to defend itself after October 7th, but slaughtering so many innocent people as they cower in a refugee camp is indefensible. Stop this now, Netanyahu. Look at that. Fucking Andrew Tate saying, I told you. God, I fucking hate these charlatans so much. Talking about how much they've been in support of Palestinians. Check out Rabbi Shmuli's response. Oh yeah, here's I Show Speed placing 4th in Gloucester cheese rolling 2024 competition. Look at that. A migrant defeating people in their own game.
We are underway in the Gloucestershire Cheese Roll 2024. High-vis jacket in the middle's looking good. He slides on his knees. Oh, there's someone going down the right, which is all sorts of limbs in no particular order. It's the high-vis, I think. Straight through the middle. Takes it.
That's right. Speed took part in interviews before and after. Where is the fucking before and after the cheese rolling competition?
Slippery, so I just had to keep sliding. So
Just tell us about your leg, how you fractured your leg.
you see that blood right there?
Yeah.
That's called a cicatricularis lumbing infraction. So I have a cicatricularis lum infraction where it bruises up and swells up. So I had to go to the hospital after this.
Was it worth it?
Hell yeah!
How was it? Talk us through as you were coming down, what you were thinking and what was going through your
I was
mind.
like it looks scary, but I'm like once you go, once that first slide, you're like, you know what, I can do this, I can take it. And I took it, but I want to do it again because I know how to win.
Would I do it? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Are you insane? People genuinely injure themselves like pretty significantly.
Win now. I went like 4th place my first time with no technique, with no videos, but yeah, I did it though.
You're going to have another go.
Yeah.
We'll see you next year.
All right, Steve.
Good to see you. I show Speed there. Hopefully he gives me a mention on his channel. And meanwhile, the
Honest question, I get a hard time convincing people immigration in the Netherlands isn't bad, but there's also a house shortage. What's the solution? Guys, build more houses. Like, we have a housing shortage in America, and it is not born out of fucking... It is not born out of a lack of space, okay? There's not enough room for more houses. What about that? You don't understand? There's no... What you're doing an ad break debate. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. There's no fucking shot. No, you can't come in here and do that. I'll catch you. At the top of the hour, I'll catch you slipping every time.